do the same thing at my house.
You got to, dude.
Yeah, I do it. And
we have a clapboard, too.
Yeah, I do, too. And I've never used it. I brought it once, and we were like, fuck it, I don't want to use it. And I'm like, then why did I buy this?
I think what it is, like, you need someone running that the whole time.
I know.
So I think, like, a clapboard is, like, one of those where it's like, okay, are we on 52A? What's the scene?
I know.
Like, are we going up in numbers, or is it a new scene?
I'm going to hire for future productions. I'm going to hire a guy to do sound. Sound is the toughest thing. And I'm going to hire a guy to do sound only, and he can run the clapboard, too.
I think this, like, if you have a guy who's, like, decent at a camera, you can tell him what to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're like, all right, I may not get, like, the Goodfellas shot where it's a one take, you know, but he can handle it. You know?
And that is, so the camera work my buddy and I can handle, and we do okay. Usually, like, if it's, because we have 2 cameras now, so, like, we can do things in half the time, which is great. But the sound, we just have found that we can't really, like, focus on it when we're running all the other things. So the sound, we're going to pay someone for the next, because I'll send you our latest short that we did. It came out so good. Yeah. But the sound in a couple areas is where I was like, we really could have used some extra help.
That sound engineer, like when you watch Christopher Nolan or something, like, even like people have complaints against him, but it's still like, there's so much thought that goes into that.
And you know? Someday I want to sit down, because I really do find it fascinating. Like, in movies, generally, they don't use any of the sound except the dialogue. Mm-hmm. And they go back and, like, when someone knocks, they, like, get that. Yeah. They do it clean later. I would love to sit and just, like, try that to something I made and just see how it comes out.
Doing all the Foley work and everything.
All like the Foley work. Yeah. I just think that I've watched some YouTube videos of, like, look at what a Foley artist does. And I was like, oh, my God, this is amazing.
Post-production is really, I mean, there's so much to the film. You know, I mean, I think even if you're an indie person who's like, we're just 4 people, you know, like there's still like, and you work that post-production job.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I'm putting so much into this stuff.
And that's all of our stuff's going to be indie, obviously. And we have like 2 or 3 really good, and one of them's a series, and then the other 2 are features that we want to do, and we're going to work on the series, but that's when we're going to, like, really aim to get everything, like, professionally, the final product look professionally done.
As best you can, you know.
As best we can, yeah.
Like, I think sometimes, like, when you have clients or something like that, right? Like, say I pitch you, like, hey, I want something that looks like a Marvel movie.
And it's like, it's not going to happen.
Like, what's your budget? You know? And they're like, all right, I'll give you, like, $3,000 to film this or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, God, you know, that's almost just the rental fee for the equipment. You know, just if you want a Marvel movie looking thing, like, you know, people, and I found with weddings, like, we'll film weddings, and a lot of the time their expectation is a Marvel movie. And I'm like, we're never,
what are their expectations? What has been, like, the craziest one you've got?
Dude, I had and I don't even care because I'm still mad at him. He got, wait, I assume we're going, right?
Yeah.
We didn't even have an introduction. Just go.
This is why we got in the conversation. So this is Ben Hilzer with Room 420. I just was recording. I'm like, I'm not going to stop this conversation.
It was good. It was good stuff.
It's like later on when I re-record the intro and I don't cut out any of this.
Good.
You know, and I'm like, oh, it's a vibe already, dude.
Oh, we're vibing.
I think with, like, podcasts sometimes it's like you take a minute to get into, like, being comfortable.
We ease in. I was like, what are we doing here?
We're already talking. So I was recording. I sneak attacked you, you know.
That's fine. I dig. Nothing to hide.
Fair. It's like, if there was something bad, I would have cut it out. I think that's always like, we haven't had any guests yet that have been like, cut that out.
Yeah,
nothing
I don't care.
You know, nothing too bad. Nothing too revealing.
Nothing to hide. You know, I don't care.
Have you ever smoked weed?
Eh.
That's where we get you.
Yeah. And I think that's the perfect answer.
Yeah,
is what you're gonna get.
You're like,
that ambiguous, like, what the fuck does that mean?
So, are you a coffee guy? 'Cause I'm a coffee
big
guy.
time,
yeah.
And I'm kind of a sociopath where I'm a black coffee guy only.
Yeah.
Like, I'll drink the occasional latte, but I find that I get my coffee, like, fix from the black stuff. And I also am a pretentious coffee person. I make Chemex coffee.
What is that?
It's pour over. Okay. It's in that vase looking thing, and I grind my own beans, and then essentially you put it in there, and then you pour the water over, and it just pours straight from the filter into the pot. And you get a much cleaner taste that way, and my wife and I can't go back now. And so that's all we drink now. But I drink a ton of coffee, and actually right now I'm fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting, and so like I try to only eat like between a 4 or 6 hour window, and but I can drink coffee, and so like right now I'm on 2 cups of coffee on an empty stomach, which is fine, but I'm trying to be less people. So I'm trying to lose weight.
Is there like a certain type of way you like to get your, like you talked about that brewing, but is there like Monster Energy or any shit like that?
Okay, that's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So yesterday,
okay,
I had a lot of stuff on my to-do list, and so I was like, I gotta get a bigger jolt. And so I went to Walmart, and my go-to is normally Red Bull because I really like the taste of Red Bull, but I couldn't find the Red Bulls right away, and I saw a Monster, and I went, oh my gosh, I'm going to throw back to 17 or 18-year-old Ben and have a Monster. And, I had a couple sips of it, and I think what really brought me back to those late 2000s was that gasoline aftertaste. It was, I think I can still taste it, and I didn't sleep great. I was a little jittery, but I got all my stuff done.
All your stuff.
So no to Monster.
Yeah.
I'll do Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then I did an Instagram poll because then I said, hey, everyone, I'm having a Red Bull for the first time in probably 12 years. Mm-hmm. Who still drinks this? I don't see this that often. Yeah. And it was 80% no.
I feel like the club maybe, or like extreme sports maybe.
Or kids.
Yeah. Kids.
Like I think when you're 16 to 19.
Yeah. Like
you can't
gamers.
Well, and you can't buy alcohol yet. So the vice is caffeine. That was mine at least.
Yeah.
And like when I was 16, 17, my buddies and I we were like Fraser Crane douchebags about energy drinks. Like we tried all the off-brand all of them.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, well, the nodes and this energy drink really hit the spot, and just be like. And so, like, I had a hierarchy of energy drinks, but I think now, now that my blood pressure's back to a normal level, I think I just go with Red Bull and coffee.
It's like kind of like whatever taste you like. I feel like it's I'm just kind of curious too, because I know like with cannabis people, they're like very particular about like certain stuff. They're like, oh, this is my strain or this kind of thing. You know what I mean? And alcohol too. Some people are like, oh yeah, I only drink like this type of whiskey.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. I think coffee is one of those things that like people are like, oh, you're a snob about coffee or something like that. And it's like, well, I mean, depending on who you are, I mean, there's some people like myself who love the McDonald's coffee.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm one of these people. Yeah. So like I said, I very much want my Chemex coffee. That's priority.
Yeah.
I'll drink office coffee, like brewed office. I don't care. But if we're ranking
the
brewed office coffee, McDonald's is number one.
That's how I'm like, feel like for me at least, it's like them, and then I like Dunkin'. And then
Dunkin's pretty good.
I do like 7-Eleven too.
I've had them all.
Yeah.
Like, they're good.
Dude, like, are you, like, I know we like put like the hierarchy, but like for me, like Starbucks is like, it's everywhere.
For
so
brewed?
That's where I get it, but it's so expensive for brewed.
For just black, it's not worth it. Go to 7-Eleven.
If I go to Starbucks, I'm like, I'll probably get something like latte.
Yeah, you want a latte if you go there. Or a, I don't know, like a nitro or something fun.
I feel like the best coffee I have is usually when I'm camping too.
Oh, there you go.
Cook it on the stove, with an Italian press or French
you
press,
camp?
whatever. Yeah.
I feel like I don't. Okay. Yeah. See, we don't camp.
Dude, I think even just like brewing outside. I don't know what it is. Like you just letting it steep outside.
Oh.
No time in the world. You're like, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah, our definition of camping is staying at like a 2-star hotel.
That's fair.
That's our camping.
That's fair.
We just don't.
Yeah. That's fair.
We don't do that.
I think like everybody's got their own definition of camping too.
Yeah.
Like I think like I felt like kind of a yuppie last week when we went camping. I was like, gosh dang, dude, we got like all this stuff.
Well, we just bought a vibrating bed.
Oh god.
If that gives you our bar of what camping is.
That's sleeping is the worst part. It is, dude. So.
It is. But it also folds.
Yeah.
So like we basically like have like an elevated foot. Oh, I just bumped the second
you're all
camera.
good.
I just bumped the second mic.
You're all good.
So now they're gonna hear the.
This is right.
Sorry, that was my fault.
The errors on the podcast, guys. Sorry.
Sorry about that. If you hurt your ear, you can curse me at your ENT appointment. But yeah, like so we have like an elevated foot and headrest now that vibrates. And we just sit and watch TV, and it's ecstasy.
It's like one of those motion control beds.
Like, oh yeah, it's got the remote that just like, and it can put you into a taco shape. It can put you into any shape you want, and it's just the best.
What do you think is your relationship with sleep? Like, has it been like something you're like, oh man, I need to like get better at this?
Well, that's interesting you asked that because I've struggled with insomnia and anxiety basically my entire adult life, and I developed chronic anxiety or insomnia. In 2017, it actually popped up when we were doing our live sketch show, believe it or not. And like I went on so many medications, and then the only thing that worked was it was called sleep deprivation therapy, and it's awful. You are only allowed to be in bed, not sleeping, in bed for 6 hours a night. And what you do is you're depriving yourself of sleep, and you're training your brain that when you are in bed, it is time for sleep. So like maybe night 1, you get 3 hours out of the 6 of sleep. Night 2, maybe you get 5. Then you start maximizing your efficiency of sleep in bed, right? And then maybe you get like all of it as sleep. Then you're getting good sleep. And that's exactly what I did. So my relationship with sleep has went from like I was afraid of it. Like you grow afraid of your bed because whenever you're having insomnia, that you're not going to sleep, and then you're like, well, if I don't sleep, I'm not going to be at my best for tomorrow, and tomorrow I have A, B, C, D, and it's this terrible like cycle. And so I like am reacquaintancing myself with my relationship with sleep on a healthier level, and it's taken a long time, but. It's necessity, but I'm trying to make it, pleasurable again. And sleep is tough, man, especially as you get older. Like when you're younger and you just have like school and shit, and that's all you have to do. It's like, I sleep till noon. And I totally was. I was that teenager that slept till noon, and now it's like, I need it, and it's so much harder to get good restful sleep, I think, now as an adult.
I feel like at that age too, like they definitely need more than I think we give teenagers credit for too.
Oh yeah.
Like kids are starting school at 7:15.
Yeah.
Like, well, they're getting out at like 2:45, but like then you're at like practice until 6.
Yeah,
and you're doing homework until like midnight, maybe.
What I mean? Kid is done at school at 3 and just goes home?
Yeah, no, I can't think of any. And like even the kids who are like, oh, don't do extra activities. They're doing stuff.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? Like you're doing stuff.
Yeah, it's like I hear you. You don't do sports, but you have clubs. You have named whatever. No one just does nothing.
Yeah. So we had a kid when I was coaching. He was after practice going and working a night shift to help his family. And then, taking a bus to get to school. I was like, dude, you are superhuman.
No kidding. And everyone has stuff that they do.
Yeah.
No one just goes home and plays video games from 3 to 10 at night and then goes to sleep and wakes up and does it again. Yeah. You have stuff to do. Yeah. So it's, when you're that young, I absolutely think that you need the sleep. And over the summers, I feel like my parents would like yell at me, be like, you can't sleep till 1. I'd be like, I can't? Yeah. I did. It was real nice. You should do it too. And I don't know, they just didn't get it.
Yeah. When did you kind of go in and find out you were dealing with insomnia? Was it something you had to go to a sleep trial or?
Yeah. I spent so much fucking money and time going through all that crap. Like I went to a sleep therapist. That didn't help. The only thing that helped was I went to my primary care, and she'd mentioned sleep deprivation therapy, and it was like an app, and it was actually really helpful. It was a $10 app. So anyone listening who has insomnia, it's called, Sleep Owl.
Sleep Owl?
Like hoot owl.
Hoot owl?
Like an owl.
Okay.
Or night owl.
Something like that.
Look up Sleep Owl. There's a picture of an owl, and it's like $10.
We'll have to check it out.
This app is what got me sleeping again. And the comforting thing too was I talked to my primary care and she was like, just know that if you can't sleep again, do your steps, go back to deprivation, and it'll work itself out. And that was super comforting too. Like I told my brain has learned that works. And so now I can kind of be like, okay, like if that ever happens again, I know what to do. So that sleep is tough, man, especially when you're as busy as we are, like with freelancing and working in the entertainment industry, kind of like with school, right? You have school and then extracurriculars. Well, with working in this industry, your whole life is kind of surrounded by work in the entertainment industry. And so it can be really easy to get yourself wound up and anxious about these kind of things. And so I've also tried meditate. You ever meditate?
Oh yeah, like transcendental meditation.
What is that?
So it's kind of more, I just focus on my mind not doing anything.
Oh, so you just sit? You don't like listen to guided? No. So you just sit?
Yeah.
I need to try that because I'm too much of a head case.
Fishing, I mean, honestly, when I go fishing, stuff like that.
See, you do it right.
I get out.
Fishing, I think, is the thing.
I love hiking, that kind of stuff. If I can get like a good lung blow too, like where if like I work out to the point where like I'm dying here.
Good for but that's why I'm fasting though. Is I don't like exercise.
I feel like you got to do what's best for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, I go on walks. Like we have a cool trail near my house, and I like and I love hot yoga. Oh, God, not normal yoga.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it for me.
That'd be fun to do. Hot yoga is fun.
You've never done it?
I love hot yoga.
Dude, hot yoga is.
They do this one, the gym I go to where they do like, I think it's like on Sundays where it's yoga with rescue dogs too.
I've heard of puppy yoga. I've heard of goat yoga.
I'm like, I'm kind of like, maybe I want to do, but I also don't want to get pooped on.
I mean, whatever.
That's kind of my big thing. Like if I'm just doing downward dog and I get humped or something.
Well, did you read the Yelp reviews? Like, do people like it?
I'll just check it out.
This baby goat spit on me and I liked it.
Some weird.
This baby goat spit on me and I came. It was great. So
do you meditate?
I try to. Yeah. Netflix has this really cool thing now.
Yeah.
I think it's with Calm. One of the apps has made a Netflix. You just play it and it plays on Netflix and it's just like some Australian guy talking to you. Right. You've had a really tough day. Close your eyes. Sleep. And it works. Like I just sit there and I listen to my Australian friend and I zone out and just focus on my breathing. And I feel like at first I was like, I'm not doing this right. And then I learned that meditation, that's not how it works. You let your mind wander and then you come back. And that is meditating. And I did not realize that until someone told me that. But the fact that I was doing that and letting my mind wander and then come back and training yourself to do that is the goal. And I didn't know that. I thought I was doing it wrong. I'm very hard on myself.
I mean, as I feel like with like growing up, especially like my brain, I don't know if you had this, like when you're sitting in a classroom and like you're trying to focus and then like a teacher would say something and then you're like, wait a minute, and you go off the rails.
Yeah.
And then you come back like, wait, what did you said something else? I was still processing.
Yeah. And I do that.
Yeah.
My wife has said I might have like undiagnosed AD, one of the acronyms. And that may be true, but like, I think for me at least, like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm probably far more inefficient than I would be if I didn't do that. But, it's my process. It's my journey. Yeah. I'm fine with it.
I think it's almost like that JD from Scrubs problem.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. And it is what it is. I've learned to live with it.
Which is a good reference. When you think, I think like only millennials, maybe.
Yeah, they all know that. Yeah. Our people our age plus or minus.
Yeah.
Probably 5 years.
I'm trying to like, dude, I don't know what Gen Z really is into besides like social media. To be honest with you, like my brother.
Talk.
Well, my brother's like 9 years younger than me, and he just watches.
He's
YouTube.
That young?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just YouTube, dude. He doesn't watch like really anything else. It's like YouTube and like what's the anime channel? It's like Spicy Roll or something like that.
I wish it was called the Animaniacs.
Right, something crazy like
something
that.
Something sweet like that.
It's like he's all into that stuff.
Well, I watch a lot of YouTube to be fair.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of like hobby stuff. Like I watch just like. So I get YouTube, but I also watch a lot of narrative stuff. They don't. So like he doesn't watch like TV, like network, HBO, like Netflix.
Yeah, like he'll watch like Netflix from time to time. Most of the time it's YouTube. Like even on our TV, put on YouTube.
I do too, but not that often.
And it's stuff like that I've like never heard of. I never would like think, but it's like simple premises. Like dudes are like, all right, we're gonna cook an egg on a stone using the heat of my butt, and you're like, all right, I'm in for it. I'll watch this with you.
Is that like the new Jackass then?
It's,
like
dude,
what?
But that's the thing too. Like I don't like. Did you see the new Jackass too?
I haven't yet. My buddy told me about it though.
Dude, it's. And then I watched 4.5 too. It's like this stuff is so primal.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I just want to see what happens, dude.
So I guess the equivalent, right, when we were kids was I would watch MTV and I'd watch what was Bam Margera's show called?
Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam. Yeah. I watched that all the time. Jackass. And so like, is that the equivalent? Like they just don't put it on MTV now?
That's what I think it is because like MTV, most of it's ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Like on this block.
And that's what I watched.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead, all that stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like, at least like my perspective on it is like, it's our stuff, but they're like, why would I go on MTV when I can make more money YouTubing?
They're like, this guy gets paid a bunch of money to act like an idiot. Yeah. This guy does it for free.
Yeah.
I want to watch the guy who has no shame.
Like, no shame. Or it's like watching dudes. Who's this guy? Like Nico Avocado or something like that.
Oh, Avocado. I've heard of
He's like mukbanging. I didn't know what mukbanging was. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to get into this.
Wait, what is mukbanging?
So it's like these people will just eat massive amounts of food.
Oh, I watch competitive eating.
But it's like not like, it's like.
Oh, it's not like that.
But it's not like that. They're just like, we're just eating on camera.
Oh.
You know, if we were both doing it right now, like a huge table full of.
What do you do?
Spaghetti.
Do you just like jerk off to that?
They just
like
get freaking fat. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the thing where it's like, man, I'm missing the boat on this. I watched it and it's like watching someone die slowly.
Oh yeah, that's not. Now I watched, like I said, competitive eating is one of my guilty pleasures. On YouTube, that is what I watch. Joey Chestnut is America. He is the GOAT. He has more titles than anyone else.
Yep.
Tom Brady, all of them.
Yep.
But like Matt Stoney, do you know who he is? Mm. He is this guy on YouTube, and I watch every video he puts out. Mm-hmm. And he's a competitive eater, and he's the only guy in the last, I don't know, go on Wikipedia and look at the titles of hot dog. He's the only one to beat Joey in the last 20 years. And he's only done it once.
Really?
But he goes on YouTube and he eats anything. I watched him eat like 3,000 peeps.
3,000 peeps?
Something gross.
I think there was an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where he was struggling to get 100.
There is.
Yeah.
I remember it.
And it was like Cool Hand Luke, like referencing that. It was like, if he says he can get 100 peeps, he can get 100 peeps.
Well, Matt Stoney has the record for like a bunch of like random stuff, like peeps, like chicken wing, like not the hot dog. Hot dog is like the most famous one, obviously, but then he's got like a bunch of these like other ones.
I feel like that hot dog one, like some of those dudes have like mastered. They're like, I'm not even gonna chew it, just swallow it.
Yeah, and they dip the bun in water, and it's so like untasty looking. It's just so like, and ESPN airs it, which that's a.
And I want to talk about this because like I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, dude, they are athletes if you really think about it, right?
Sure, I mean, it's a physical. Yeah. They have overcome all physical adversity to do it, but they did sports science on it. And they took like a hollowed out mannequin and put like a balloon as the stomach, and they shoveled 70 hot dogs into this mannequin and showed you what the stomach does. And basically what happens is that your stomach stretches. These guys have basically taught their stomach to stretch and to like envelop the organs. So it presses up on all your organs. And like they did it, and like on the 70th, I think it popped because it's just a balloon or something. Yeah. But when you watch what you're doing to it, it's pretty disgusting. Yeah. And like I don't know how you, because I've heard two different things. I've heard that sometimes they don't eat anything like a day before. And then I've heard that you can't do that. You have to keep it stretched a little bit. So like they'll they'll eat a little bit like throughout that day before. But so like it's amazing. I wish I could, but instead I just eat a little bit amount and just enjoy the fuck out of it.
I get the feeling like if there's like aliens came, they're like, why are we torturing people like this? If they saw like a food eating competition, dude.
Dude, I think a lot about what if aliens came. Yeah. Because like I look at stuff and it just is normal. Mm-hmm. I just want to see like what is normal and what isn't to non-acquaintanced people. Yeah. And so my buddy and I are working on a show about aliens, and I'm just really fascinated with like that perspective. Yeah. So like if they came, because there has to be aliens. Did you see the article about Mars has like a door? They got a picture.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Mars has like a door or something, and they were like, "Is that a mirage, or does someone shelter there?"
It's like the face on the planet again. We're kind of like, is it a shadow?
I think it's even more than that. I think it's like a literal door, or it looks like a door. And when I say a door, it looks like in Spaceballs, like in the desert where yogurt lives. It's like this
I'm looking
cavern
at it right now too. Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah. That looks. I mean, it looks like something out of Egypt.
Yeah. You know yes. Exactly. Yeah. It looks like oh, what is that? And so like that stuff's all super fun and fascinating to me, just because like it's so arrogant to think that we're the only thing, that the Big Bang only happened once. It's like the universe is infinite. That's not true. You know what I mean?
The Pentagon, even like in 2020, it was so crazy. What a crazy year. The Pentagon was like, yeah, UFOs are real.
And that is the cause of the show, is because we want more. They just said that. The end.
That was it. Because everything else was so crazy. We're like, well, we don't care.
Okay, but like, I feel like when the Pentagon says that, it's like, I have some follow-ups. Yeah. Like, we just ended it.
It was like, I think 2020 was the most bonkers year.
Yeah. Of human
history. I mean? Just everything happening all at once. And even like, we're still feeling it, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not a guy who's like Mercury's in retrograde or anything like that. I don't, really ascribe to that. But I was like, dude, there's something. It's like the planets aligning here.
And I'm waiting. Yeah. Like, what if like a close encounter of the third kind happens? That'd be wild. I'm here for it.
I just want Space Jam. That's really it. If we get
I think we've had Space Jam.
If we get like the real Space Jam.
Well, let's think though. Yeah. Like, Ben Simmons may have been taken over already.
Fair.
I'm trying to think who else the Monstars stole. James Harden at the end. So like, have we not already had Space Jam?
Are we seeing just typical human decline? We don't know. Only one way to know.
Well, Ben Simmons never was able to shoot.
Dude, we did like, what other sport would you like to see a Space Jam?
Oh, football.
Football?
Absolutely.
Who do you think they'd pick if you had like offense? If you had to go like one quarterback.
I think Brady would be the MJ.
Okay.
Right, because he's a perfect human, and they would take like Aaron Donald. They would take Travis Kelce. Like, I guess now, Derrick Henry. They'd take Derrick Henry. Like all of these like freak of nature players. Like the one of one player. If they take a quarterback, it'd probably be Mahomes.
Didn't it take two quarterbacks like that?
Well, the other team needs a quarterback. The Monstars needs a quarterback, so
I should rephrase it. Who's the Monstars taking?
Yeah, all of those were so it'd be Mahomes, Henry, Kelce, because Tom Brady's playing with Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and then the Monstars would be, Kelce, I guess Quentin Nelson, he's a beast. Receivers, maybe, I don't know, like Deebo Samuel, I don't know. Tyreek Hill. Probably those guys.
Tyreek would be a good cartoon, too.
Yeah, because he'd be Roadrunner. He'd just
go.
He'd be so fast.
Yeah.
And honestly, like a Space Jam movie with that would be sweet. I'd be all for it. And Tom's already making movies and stuff.
He's going to make way more out of football.
I know. He signed that deal for like more than his contract was, or more than his career earnings was.
$375 million versus $325 million.
So LeBron just became the first active athlete to hit $1 billion. Brady has to be close.
I feel like because he took so many pay cuts too.
Yeah.
But I think he played the long game. I always tell people, like, dude, I'm like, if you win those Super Bowls, you're gonna leverage like your post-career fame.
Oh, big time.
Way more than I think all those other guys have made like big contracts and stuff.
Eli Manning is more famous than he deserves to be
Because of Tom Brady.
Because of Tom Brady, but also he has 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like he is not good enough to deserve that.
And I do think he's a hell of a quarterback, but I think it's like the last part of his career though. Post that boat picture with New York.
I mean,
Dunzo. They took that boat trip, dude, and New York went downhill.
And this is a hot take.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between him and Daniel Jones besides his last name?
Super Bowls.
That's what I mean, though. Like
those Manningham and
I was gonna say Manningham had the catch, and like
was it Tyree?
it was David Tyree, and so like
And I think this is the thing with like any legacy though, postseason. If you have a decent regular season, but you're a postseason, like any sport, man.
And you flip it if you're amazing in the regular season and off on the playoffs.
Yep. That was the biggest knock on Manning and Marino.
Yeah. Well, Marino and Manning fixed it. He ended with 2. But yeah, I mean, dude would throw for 5,500 and then losing the AFC Championship to Brady, and it's like, sorry.
Yep. Well, I think in the playoffs he was 5-3 against Brady.
That's pretty good.
But regular season though, I think Brady was like 12-3 or something.
I watched all of the Brady documentary.
Is it which one is that?
The Hulu one or the ESPN Plus one?
Is it Religion of Sports or
what was it called?
Did you learn anything from that series about like apply this to my own health or anything like that?
So Brady's approach to health, I do think is interesting, and I think that there are a couple things like I get allergy tested now, mm-hmm. and I do think that like minimizing inflammation, just because physically minimizing inflammation is really good for you, and then us as performers, like the voice mm-hmm. is really critical, mm-hmm. and you want to decrease inflammation for your vocal cords. Because our voice is everything. Mm-hmm. Without our voice, what can you do? Yeah. I mean, you can be Penn and Teller, I guess, but even still, like, you need your voice. And so, like, I've been really big on minimizing inflammation. And so, like, Brady, like, strawberries. Like, I think that's his thing is mm-hmm. strawberries. He's, like, slightly allergic to it.
Yeah, he doesn't eat tomatoes and stuff like that. It's like nightshade fruits.
Yeah, he nixes certain things, and I think it's because he did food allergy testing. And anything that, like, hit a little blip in his body, he just, like, nixes. And so, like, I'm super interested in that. But all the other stuff he does, like, I, as a human actor, don't need to do as crazy, especially the way I look. I'm a character actor, right? I'm not, some leading man, beautiful human. I can be. I'm an everyman. Mm-hmm. Like I can look how I look, mm-hmm. and if I care a little bit, then I usually keep the equilibrium in a decent spot. As long as I don't get like morbidly obese, I think I should be all right.
Then there's a different character.
Yeah, but even still in Hollywood, like a lot of stars, like I know Jonah Hill and Rebel Wilson were really big on talking about this, like. When they started losing a bunch of weight, I remember like directors and producers were like, "Well, we can't use them now," and that is offensive. Yeah, because they're both super talented,
very talented,
and so you can't just want them like Melissa McCarthy. I think all of them have spoken about this. You can't just want them because they're the funny fat people. That's not fair. Yeah, like Chris Farley died. Well, he died of other things, but
like they want to use you until you die and then make money off the documentary about
which is fucking garbage. Like that's not fair. Yeah. You can't just like. Expect them to be like shitty to themselves and milk you for funny until they die. Like Jonah Hill is one of my favorite character actors. I think that he's just wonderful. His work in Wolf of Wall Street blew me away. And his body shape isn't what did it. So like what the proof is in the pudding then. Like good performing, good acting It's good acting. You don't need to
was.
like Rebel Wilson would have been great in Pitch Perfect if she was what she looked like now or then. It didn't matter. And so like LA is getting very like there's pushback on that, you know, which I think is good.
Yeah. There's time where it's like I get it. I think there's that idea of like FU money too.
You also can wear a fat suit. Like
you
why
get to that point and you're like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, they made him look all, you know, like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Like why can't
He
you
looks
just
like Harvey Weinstein.
Yep, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, that's one of his best performances, I think.
I think I've heard multiple people in the past week talk about that role.
About that role in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And I know it's because like Top Gun came out and everything too.
Well,
you know, and like while we're on the subject, I was like, dude, I think two people. And I'm like, dude, they made a deal with the devil. It's like Tom Brady and Tom Cruise.
I know. Oh, and Paul Rudd.
Yeah, like
Paul Rudd doesn't age.
Yeah, they are. I'm like, dude, you guys all look good.
I know. Fuck you.
Yeah,
They look better than me. And they're 20 years older than
like
me.
60 years old, dude.
It's bullshit.
You know, he's still doing stunts and stuff like that. So you're like, there's something to there. I'm like, what are some stuff I can take?
Okay, that's a great example.
You know?
Tom Cruise needs to do the Tom Brady thing because he does his own stunts.
Yeah.
But like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do stunts. No, I did once in Army and Coop. Remember?
Okay.
When I got beat up.
Okay.
And they had a double. It was Jason.
Jason Coviello.
Jason was the double.
So Ben is talking about a movie we both did. It's kind of come in and out. I don't know how to explain. The film industry is kind of like, well, there's a release, and then now we have a re-release.
It got picked up. A distribution company bought it, and so now, you know, they basically scrapped they didn't scrap it, but like they're re-releasing it as if it was for the first time.
Yeah.
Have you heard any? Like, is it getting
no idea
looked at or anything?
I have no idea. I know it's out there.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you seen it out anywhere?
Yeah, I've seen it. Like not in stores, but I've seen it like digital streaming. I think
Okay.
they're probably streaming it first, but like I was at like Walmart and I was like, maybe it's here. You know, because I see like some stuff from like RLJ Films there.
Right.
Like Psycho Gorman I saw there, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
I'll check this movie out.
Well, he said it might be at Walmart and it might be in Redbox, and so I'm kind of like keeping my eyes peeled. But no, I'm really proud of it. I still think that it's really good. I just want to hear what people think about it, and I'm curious too because it isn't super duper PC.
Not at all.
And it's a raunchy.
It's a late night comedy.
It's a bro but even still, like in today, I want to hear what people think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty passionate about this. I don't think there has been a good comedy in really the last 10 years.
Go on.
So I would say Horrible Bosses is probably the last great comedy. And before that, it was probably The Hangover.
I think so.
I feel like from like early to mid 2000s, basically through the early 10s was our golden age. And that was Judd Apatow and like Anchorman, 40-Year-Old Virgin, all Step Brothers. All of those were kind of like our golden age of comedy. But really, after that, like what have we had? And I do have one argument, but it's not. I don't even want to put it into a comedy because it's you know a social commentary and it was nominated for Oscars. I thought Don't Look Up was brilliant.
Yeah.
That is super polarizing movie politically, but I don't care. I thought it was a wonderful movie.
I think it was pretty good satire.
And I cackled at it. But it's
'Cause I would say the same thing. Like one of my favorite comedies the past 10 years was The Big Short. And people would be like, I don't think that's a comedy. I'm like, I thought it was hilarious.
See, I didn't like The Big Short.
I thought it was hilarious. Like, I thought Ryan Gosling in that.
Oh, no, I thought the
cracked me
performances were
up,
great.
dude.
I didn't like The Big Short because, you know, I'm an accountant, so I didn't think they explained it very well.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, that was unclear.
I think, like, for me at least, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
It was like, too high level that it didn't.
Yeah. Because for you, you're probably like, there's more to it, right?
Yeah, and it didn't make sense. Like they would say like A and then D, and they missed B and C. And I'm like, that didn't explain to the people what happened. But very good point though. Like there are movies that lean comedic, and it's Adam McKay, right? So of course it's funny.
Yeah.
but are they comedies?
And this, I think it gets to like, what do we define as comedy? Sometimes
very
too,
good
you know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah,
Where it's
very
like, there's some too where like I talk to people where I'm like, dude, Goodfellas is like one of the funniest movies ever too.
Well, and you know what I think?
You know what I mean?
I think Deadpool is one of the best comedies.
And that's another one too. Yeah.
Deadpool is one of the best comedies I've seen in the last 10, 15 years.
Kills it.
Is it a comedy? It's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But like,
I think so.
I think so too, because I do think its purpose is to make you laugh.
And I think there's some that like you don't think about. Like when we're having a conversation right now, I'd be like, oh, I can't remember this, you know. But like it would come on, I'm like, oh my god, this gave me such a good feeling.
Oh yeah,
you know. Like,
but like I guess when you're labeling it as like when you see the trailer and you're like, that's a comedy. That's kind of how I'm defining it. So that's why I think Big Short and Don't Look Up.
How it's marketed.
How it's marketed. So like because how it's marketed technically defines its target market, its target audience. So like Don't Look Up and Big Short, I would say no, because they are, and Deadpool, they're marketed different. Those were kind of for the award hunters and things like that, and Deadpool's obviously a superhero movie. Yeah. And whereas like when you see, I'm thinking of like those discount shitty Melissa McCarthy movies or like Spy
with Jason Bateman or something.
Jason Bateman, all of those ones, I just am like,
it's not for you. Yeah.
All of the like you know the trailers I'm talking about. Like they're shot very specifically, and that to me is like, okay, it's a comedy, and I just don't think we've had a good one in like forever. And so I would love to make the next one, and I have an idea or two that I would love to do, but I think we lost it, and I think a lot of it, and you and I have talked about this before, even with stand-up, it's like, and I blame cancel culture to a degree. I just think that people are afraid, you know?
I think there's some good underground stuff, though.
Really see, and I haven't dug underground too much.
I think just going, part of me is like, past 2 years not being able to go see stuff live.
Yeah.
But like watching comics work live, and you're like, this is so good, dude.
See,
like seeing like some of these comics from TV are like more like they kind of hide stuff.
Yeah.
Then like you go see them at like some of the comedy store, and you're like, dude, you are killer.
Good.
You know, so I think there's a lot to it. I think there's part of me too. I feel like that cancel culture stuff. I think it's like it comes from both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I definitely feel like when I get away from it, I'm like, I don't see it. If that makes sense.
And me too. And I do think it's going away because you can't. What does that mean to cancel someone?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Everyone's been canceled, but like, are they?
Yeah. Well, it's like even like you go back to the 50s, and I think like this is a cannabis thing too, but like Robert Mitchum arrested for cannabis.
Right.
You know, having it, or like Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
You know,
was he canceled? No.
You know, and they're like, oh, he's canceled. You know, but like George Carlin, Richard Pryor. You know,
Louis C.K.
Oh, dude, that's
I just saw a trailer for his new movie.
Isn't that bonkers?
So
is it kind of weird to you, or
it's weird?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like, where are the I'm looking for rules.
Yeah.
Like, where are the rules?
Yeah,
and there are none. So like, what is cancel culture? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I even get more political. If you take a step back, it's like, because I'm very much against guns. I'm terrified of them. I don't want them. And I don't want to hear anyone else. I don't care. My wife and my mom were teachers. I don't care. Like, until you fix that, I don't really care. That's the Second Amendment. So like my opinion is buffered by that inherently. And I'm not talking opinion. That's a fact. The First Amendment, how is that any different?
Yeah.
You can't cancel someone just because you disagree with what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
Just like what I just said isn't fair technically with the Second Amendment. It's not fair. So like the First Amendment, I'm trying to think of like, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not going to opine on it, but like everyone was freaking out about that special he made that Netflix put out. And then the employees at Netflix were like petitioning, and they were like, we're not taking it off.
Yeah.
Like just because you don't like it doesn't mean that we should take it off. And I'm kind of like, you know, from a comedic and you know, again, I'm not going to opine on my opinion on it, but buffering up against that First Amendment, it's like, I guess technically that's the right decision.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I guess if you don't like something, like, maybe just don't, like, watch it.
Yeah. Which I think is a concept I think a lot of people have, but I also think people are like, well, if this stuff, maybe they think it's, like, hurtful, and they're like, well, maybe we'll try to, like, hurt them as possible. Like, we'll boycott shows, you know? Like, they did that with Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Snoop Dogg. You know, I think Snoop Dogg, when he went to England, like, there was a newspaper, too, that was, like, this, like, murderers coming over, and the Queen was like, no, he didn't do anything here. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's I think it's different. You know,
we're looking for rules, though. I am.
And you look, and here's the thing, too, is, like, when we get, like, American-centric with it,
yeah,
you know, we're like, oh, we have rules here, but, like, worldwide, too. It's like, you know, like, I've had YouTuber videos, too, like, some of my comedy banned in Germany. And I'm like, why?
Wait, you have?
Yeah. You know,
what'd you do?
Just stuff on YouTube. It's like, I didn't think I did anything bad.
Did
it's
you
like
have,
if you show, like, drinking.
Are you in lederhosen or something? Why did you get banned in Germany?
I don't know. Still don't know.
Did you have a German accent?
Nothing. It's kind of crazy. Dude, it's like...
Do you look like someone who's not welcome in Germany?
There's different rules. Like Australia.
You have blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm very fucking confused on why you got banned in Germany.
I'm like the... It's probably just because, like, check my ancestry. I'm like, dude, hidden Mexican. No one knows. No one knows.
Yeah, but I'm like, what
I don't look
you
at it
do?
All. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because, like, I do a very offensive Augustus Gloop impression for any fat people.
From Willy Wonka.
From Willy Wonka, where I go, oh, I want to drink from the chocolate river. And
so
that is all I can do.
I got a fun... I was about to be like, hey, you want a fun game here?
Yeah, what do we
Let's do? Let's come up with some quotes for movies as Augustus Gloop.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to look up some famous movie quotes. We're going to see if we can hit it. Okay. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn from Gone with the Wind.
Frankly, my dear, I do not give a damn. And then he drinks from the chocolate river. I think I can only do 2 German accents. I can do, like, Augustus Gloop, kind of goofy, silly, or I can do, like, angry.
It's so easy to do, like, the characters, I think, that, like, authentic sometimes. Like, we're like, oh, from this region, you know, it's like...
It's tough.
It's a lederhosen on here, you know?
See, and you're... And a lot of it, too, do you know where I picked that accent up? Is from Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Beer Fest is where I, like, learned...
You do, like, the comedic person's like... And
that's angry. I can only do angry or goofy.
Yep.
I can't, like, I think I could do a real one if I, like, sat down and focused on it.
Yeah, when you sit down to do it, it's different. Like, even I think, like, French Canadian is one, too.
See, that one's hard.
And here's how I tried to, I was like, I'm just going to try to talk like George St. Pierre or Patrick Wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, just listen to them.
I try to watch Nathan Fielder for Canadian because he slips it in real subtly.
Isn't he from Toronto?
Yes.
Because that's the thing, too. It's like you get, like, different dialects in Canada. I know. It's like America here. It's tough.
I like to think that everyone outside of America just assumes that we're Texan.
I think they're always like, you're California, Cowboys, or you're from New York.
So you get... So America has 3 accents, like, oh, my God, or, yeah, I got guns, or... Get on my fucking way.
Like,
that's the only 3 things that we can sound like.
Like my aunt said that same. She's from Italy, and she said the same thing. She's like, I came here, I thought everything was like West. She's like, I thought everything was the Western. I was like, nope.
Hi, welcome to Colorado. You know, what can I get you? You know, like, that's what everyone should.
He's like a New Yorker saying, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," you know, something like that. What's good? Some Long Island Cowboys.
Okay, wait, I got another movie quote for you.
Okay, you ready?
Luke,
I'll shut up.
I am your father.
This is how I want to end the podcast. So, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to put yourself to sleep, you got a minute.
Yeah.
As Augustus Gloop.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, let me think.
I'll give you time to
put myself to sleep?
Yeah, if you're like, all right, talk myself into sleep as Augustus Gloop.
As Augustus Gloop? Yeah. Does it have to be from a movie, or can it just be me talking to myself?
You free will and just talking to yourself.
I think, and you know what? If this catches on, like if people listen to this and they go, wow, you know, that Augustus Gloop voice really helped me, I will sell it to Calm or to any of the meditation apps. So let me just do this really quick.
Okay, let's hit it.
Hey, you. You had a very tough day, didn't you? It was very hard. But you know what? You are lying in bed. You have your blanket or not, I don't know. And you did a good job. Why don't you just close your heavy eyes and lay your head on your pillow and just rock back to sleep. Maybe have a Hershey bar next to your bed. This is what
I'm sound asleep here.
Oh wow, this is great. So see, did you hear that? You could be my VO agent.
Yep. Hey, this guy right now, we got a great guy. He's really gonna put you to sleep. Okay, he's the best.
He only does the
best.
Gloop. Stay with me. Do you ever also, like, during COVID? I want to say this because I'm curious if I'm not alone. Because I assume everyone was on the couch a lot. Did you ever think you were, like, 1 week away from turning into the grandparents who just don't get out of bed?
Totally.
In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Totally.
Because, I started calling the couch the bed, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm, like, really close to wearing a onesie and just not leaving.
Yeah.
And this isn't great.
I think I went on, like, a week-long camping trip that got me out of it. We're just going. We're getting out.
Oh.
But the rest of the time, I was like, this is the deepest depression I have ever been in.
The fact that the grandpa gets out of bed and quite literally does an entire song and dance about his excitement of getting out of the bed is indicative of how I felt in 2020.
Yeah.
I can walk. I thought I lost it. And, like, that was upsetting. And, like, because I would try to get my dog up on the couch and I'd be like, get up on the bed. And I went, oh no.
Yeah.
I just called the couch the bed.
Yeah.
I am eerily close to the grandpa and Willy Wonka. And I just, ugh.
I feel like a lot of people were there. We're like, well, this is like my worst fear.
And that's why the movie, or the special Inside, which I'm sure you've seen, is the greatest thing I've seen in maybe my entire life.
Bo Burnham.
I think it's probably the greatest thing. And I say thing because I don't know how to categorize it.
I think it's, for me at least, like even just doing pandemic stuff, I had a show. I was like, nothing I did came close.
No, God, no.
Nothing
But is it a movie?
For me, it's a performance.
Is it a musical?
I think it's genre bending.
I think so too, and that's why I think it's the most genius thing I've ever seen in my life, and it defies like time, era, and genre. It's just wonderful.
I think the title itself is like you're in a mind.
100%.
It's like you're in a mind, and like sometimes a mind don't make sense.
It's almost like a vlog. I mean, it's just incredible, and it's
the evolution of YouTube, like YouTubers essentially.
Well, and he talks about that, and actually, I'm working on a comedy special, and it's almost like the opposite of Inside.
Outside.
It's like the anti-Inside because I'm very fascinated. So Bo Burnham, a lot of his Inside was him reflecting on how he got famous and how the internet made him famous. Mine's the opposite. I feel like I've been working really hard and it's so hard to get an audience and it's deflating. That I think is what it's going to be about. And so I think that's a little bit more accessible because watching Bo do it was like weird. But like I think to do it on the other perspective, the anti-Inside, like how you deal with trying to make shit all the time and no one cares is an interesting perspective. And
I think that's like the majority of the internet too.
100%.
You know,
most of the internet is not seen. Except I'll tell you, I've seen some stuff. Maybe I've seen most of the internet at this point.
2 Girls, 1 Cup. Just gonna say, that scarred me.
That scarred you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
saw that as a kid, dude.
Inspired me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Like, what did you say? Repeat that. No.
I remember sitting there and I'd be like, "That's ice cream."
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so my special is I'm working on that, and I'm mostly just exploring that idea of like my relationship with the internet and how it's frustrating. So I think hopefully I make it here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other stuff you want to plug?
I made a website.
Congrats,
Finally,
dude.
I know
That takes effort.
You know what?
Take effort.
It does, and I said I was going to do it, and then I did it. So it's just my name, benhilzer.com. Go there, you can see all the stuff I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of live shows. You know, I'm doing a touring play right now. Doing a kid show. I'm doing a production of Hair, like Aquarius, in the fall, and got some film projects coming out that I'm really happy about, really excited about. Obviously, Army and Coop's out. Give that a watch, and yeah, and I should have a couple commercials out soon.
Nice.
So that'd be cool. So we'll see.
And, our specials out too. Our little Ben and Gary.
Okay, that thing is. I'm really proud of that. Yeah. That thing is awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to draft another one for you and me. That
was one of my favorite things we did together. So.
I think I loved that. But I'm working on some. I'll tell you off the air about what I think.
Yeah, you people don't get to hear it.
Yeah, no, it's secret.
Except for Noel.
Noel can hear.
So, hey, thank you guys for listening. This has been Room 420. This is my guest, Ben Hilzer. Be sure to check him out at benhilzer.com. If you're in the Denver area or nationwide, go check him out at some live shows. This has been Room 420. Be sure to give us a follow at Veriheal to stay up to date on the latest in cannabis news. Thanks for listening.